All right, well, we can get started. Thank you all for joining us for this overview of the social media engagement ambassadors group at SCCM. Holly has introduced herself. I'm Melissa, and uh, Rahul has also introduced himself, so I think we can get started. This is really an introduction to help you understand what the social media engagement group is, but I do want to recognize the efforts of SCCM Social Media Committee. The committee is a group who is really charged with helping with the strategic direction of social media, ensuring that ambassadors are educated and able to utilize social media in a meaningful way and help amplify their own social media profiles and the message of SCCM. So if anyone here is interested in taking the next step and really getting involved in SCCM's volunteer creative community, I'll just remind you that applications are due in May 2023, and you can visit this website for more information. So who are social media engagement ambassadors? They're SCCM members and members of the critical care community. You do not necessarily need to be a member of SCCM to join. And they're basically people who we ask to help amplify SCCM's message. This is important because SCCM can tweet and post all day about all of the wonderful things that we think we put on, but we really rely on having ambassadors amplify those messages, share their insights, share other information in the greater critical care space to help keep that conversation going. And that really lends a lot of trustworthiness and credibility both to SCCM's brand as a trustworthy source of information and to your own professional and personal quote unquote brand as someone who is engaged and active in this subculture online. So it really is a two-way street of ambassadors helping amplify SCCM's message and then gaining their own professional prominence in this space. We'll talk about how to become an engagement ambassador, but Holly will be sending a sign-up form in the chat. We encourage you, if you were referred by someone, to put their name and help them get credit. We have a little friendly competition going among people in the SCCM committee. You can also find more information about being an ambassador at sccm.org/social. And again, you do not need to be a member, but encouraged. As an engagement ambassador, you are automatically added to a group that we have in SCCM Connect, where we kind of try to encourage chatting, sharing information within that small private group. And then we also provide tips and resources for helping share things on more public platforms like Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. And I'd say if you are on this call and already an ambassador, send this link to a friend and help get them involved as well. This is just a very brief overview of SCCM's social media growth. I'm not going to get into the specific numbers here, but I will just say, followers are the number of people who are in our community. So people who have been our friend on Facebook or liked our Twitter page. Impressions are the global reach of our messaging. So if you, as an ambassador, like something, share something, comment on something, and that's seen by your friends, that number grows exponentially. And then engagements are the count of those individual likes, comments, shares. So you can see, again, this two-way street. SCCM is able to amplify well beyond maybe what your professional or personal networks might provide. And we really rely on people helping share our message to get our impressions and our engagements into the thousands and millions here. And we have a few slides on social media best practices that really cover the basics. I'll turn it over to Holly to talk about those. I'll say this is really our mantra here. We want to communicate with our audience, not at them. So ways to engage on that matter are, maybe talking about a journal article that you found interesting and why you found it interesting, creating communication rather than just kind of just saying, oh, look at this. Like, don't just share the link, share what you found interesting about it. We always encourage transparency. SCCM tries to be transparent and honest and speak in its own voice, and we ask the same of our ambassadors. Create a unique experience on each platform. Don't just post one thing to LinkedIn and share it across all of the platforms. Really try to think about what space you're on. So your message on Twitter might be different than it is on LinkedIn. We always say to keep text brief, aim to engage, and always including a picture, video, or link helps really boost that engagement. And we offer resources to help facilitate that. So Holly, with that, I'll let you take over these slides that cover more of these basics.
Sure. So hashtags have kind of become, they've moved from Twitter to just about every social network now. So a lot of this does apply to pretty much any social network you're on. So a hashtag is a keyword or phrase that's preceded by the pound sign. And make sure you don't add any spaces or punctuation. That will break up the hashtag and then people won't be able to search using the hashtag you've included. They're a great way to group tweets and conversations around a topic. And they're also a good way to help find other conversations on that topic. You can connect with others when you click or search a hashtag. Melissa, if you don't mind advancing it. Thank you so much. So any profile or public post that uses that hashtag, when you click or search it, that will show up. You can often also filter the results by what's most popular, what's most recent, which can be another great way, especially when you're at an event, for example, to find the most relevant content for you. Including hashtags is also a great way to increase engagement. Again, events are a really good example of this. If you're at Congress and you include the Congress hashtag, anyone who's looking to connect with you on social media, connect with others at the event, it's a great way for them to find you, and you can grow your network and increase your engagement on social and even make new connections in real life. So again, much like hashtags, tags have also spread across all of social media. So this is also a little bit more general advice. So tags allow you to identify a profile in your social media post. They are, I think, most frequently used on Twitter. Much like hashtags, they become a clickable link to that person or entity's profile. You can tag users, you can tag corporations or organizations, you can even tag your workplace. They're all great ways to increase your reach and include others in your content. So the way to tag, much like a hashtag, is just use the @ symbol and then type in their username. And it is often on most social media, it'll come up with a list of suggestions for who you'd like to tag when you type the @ symbol. So that's also helpful if you can't remember someone's username off the top of your head. And the tag profile will get a notification when you post your tweet or other social media post. So they will be aware that you posted it. And Melissa, if you don't mind advancing one more. Thank you. Again, it's a great way to increase your reach. They'll get the notification that you tag them, and then they can choose to share your message or comment on your message, which is increasing engagement on your own post. And it also helps expose your post to other networks. More and more on social now, tagged posts are also being shown to the people who have, the followers of people who have been tagged on them. For example, if you tag a friend in your Facebook photo, your friends' friends will all see your photo with them in it. So it's a good way to increase your reach and get more eyes on your posts. So how to create a tweet. These are just some of the basics. Twitter has added a lot more functionality than just the tweet button nowadays. So you type in your text. You can add up to 4 photos. You can even add GIFs now. You can create a poll that people can answer. You can add emojis. You can also schedule your tweet ahead of time. If you'd like to schedule more than one tweet, for example, a thread, you can also use the TweetDeck feature of Twitter. You can also thread tweets using the plus symbol next to the tweet button. And threads are a great way if you'd like to share longer information than what Twitter will allow you to. Sharing a thread keeps all that information in one place. So when someone looks at your initial tweet, they'll have the option to see all the follow-up tweets right along with it. So some ideas of things to post on social media about, especially on Twitter, is events you're attending. As I mentioned before, Congress is a great event to talk about, but it can also be courses you're attending or events that you and your network that have that shared experience. Articles, videos, and other content are also really good discussion starters, and they can help bring more people and bring more eyes to your posts. As we said before, photos, videos nowadays especially, but links as well are really great ways, and the algorithm definitely favors them. So it helps increase that engagement, increase your reach. And as Melissa said, communicating with, not at others is super important, and asking a question is a great way to do that. For example, sharing an article and asking others, what do you make of this? Will this change your practice? Sharing what you think and asking others to share their opinions as well. So we also recommend that you follow these main social media accounts for SCCM. I'll also share our social media accounts for Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. These are our sort of tertiary accounts. We've got our SCCM president account. It's currently Dr. Kane Gill, and we update that every time we get a new president. So you can just follow the account once, and you wanted to follow a new one every year. And we've also got our journals, Critical Care Medicine, Pediatric Critical Care Medicine, and Critical Care Explorations. And these are great places to get some of those links we discussed, but they do also share infographics and other images that are great for increasing engagement, responding to, and getting the word out there in general about what SCCM and our journals are up to. We also have Twitter accounts for our sections now, so make sure to follow your own section, and I'll definitely follow others, see what everyone is up to. These are places where sections are sharing their news and also functioning as ambassadors for SCCM. They're good ways to connect and learn what your section's up to, what other sections are up to, and get some resources you might not get otherwise. And I believe Anne-Marie also shared in the chat, we have a list on Twitter of all our SCCM influencers. That's a great list of people to follow. They include our social media committee, some of the other influencers in our sphere who are really involved with SCCM and our programs. And it's a great way to network and increase your engagement and get great content to respond to and share. I will turn it over to Rahul now to talk about live tweeting during events.
Thank you, Melissa and Holly. I think that was really great. So there are a couple of things coming up for you guys, and we'll bring it to that too as well. But our main event happens every year, sometime in January, February. This is going to be our annual meeting, the largest critical care meeting in the world, happening from January 21 and 24th at San Francisco. At the time, those who are visiting, who's coming to attend or present the work, you will be there in person. Those who might be joining remotely, or those who are just watching the Twitter, and then we anticipate you guys to help out in amplifying the message using @SCCM is the handle, and then these two hashtags, SCCM 2023 and SCCM social media SoMe hashtags. In the end, we'll be able to generate the influence we are creating in this regard. The goals for tweeting, I think Holly mentioned about it. All of you are not critical care pertinent, but from your field, from neurology critical care, pediatric critical care, or anything else in that regard, you can talk about those messages. Anything what you like to amplify, you are passionate about, it has any critical care angle to that as well, you can tweet about it. You can follow people and see something you like it. If there's a new research study is coming up which you're interested in sepsis, or anything you have published which could be remotely associated with critical care, emergency medicine, sleep, pharmacy, pharma critical care, emergency medicine, anesthesia, or infectious disease. So the field is quite big as well, and you have a lot of opportunity to do that. What is in it for you guys? there are a couple of things. Not only you increases your influence, your network as well. You get to associate with the largest society of critical care medicine in the world. You develop your networking as well, and along this way, you're learning from the new literature, discussions, and threads coming out as well. So I don't need to suggest this to any of you who are here today as already signed up ambassador or willing to be signing up as an ambassador, that you can use it for your advantage for knowledge gain as well as networking and collaborative opportunities. And in return, whatever you do using some of these hashtags, that tagging SCCM with at the rate sign and putting hashtag SCCM so me, you can actually amplify the message. And then we have these conference specific hashtags, especially when we talked about SCCM's 2023, SCCM 2024, and so on and so forth, would be in the process. Adding, this is a pretty nice infographic to talk about, tell about your forums, what you're doing it. We will try to bring rewards and awards for your engagement as well, create a friendly competition for you as well to see what kind of swags we can bring it to you based on how much you have been engaged and so on and so forth. So I would take this opportunity to gain something out of it for your own career, for your own networking, and in return doing something for the society, so amplifying that message and good message. One advice is stay away from politics or anything which somebody's commenting and you don't agree with that as well. You can always bring it to our notice, and then we can have a proper response. Otherwise, we are not here to be the warriors for SCCM. You're not here to fight for them. Your goal is to be have a collegial, kindful environment, and something is bothering you, bring it to us as well, and we'll be able to provide you some solutions, or at least take things from there at our angle. I don't know, next slide wise, she's already mentioned that utilizing a picture, an image, or GIF GIF increases the visibility of those things. And this could be an orientation for those who have not done it. And some of you, I see you have done these things already. When I look at Raktan and a few other people, that you have already done these things. Two of these points I would like to bring up to you as well. Be respectful. If you see an online presentation and then people have a no social media slide list, the mark listed there, don't take a picture of it. They don't want it to go on social media. Maybe it's unpublished work. Maybe it's a data which it's still review, or maybe it's a grant they're submitting it. So that is the one thing you should take care of it when you're taking pictures, snapshots, and things like that, either in live meetings or meetings away, like Zoom meeting we are doing it today. Some of you have seen using the thread. I have not used it, but I know that a couple of you have used the thread function. It's an amazing way to provide the comments which doesn't fit into 180, 140 character limit. Then you can create your different points, and as you go through with those parts as well. Dr. Brown is mentioning something. Dr. Brown, you want to unmute yourself and then share your point?
Yeah, I would say when you're posting like articles, like you're sharing something from one of the journals or a link or something, we know that your post will get a bigger reach, more readers, followers, retweeters, etc. If you share something about why did you post it, a highlight of what it's about, why you found it interesting or important, because it makes it more personal. It's kind of back again about doing that. So try, if you can, to do more than just post the link. At least a title. What is it? Why should somebody want to read it or amplify it? Absolutely.
And then previous slide, what Melissa was showing, what to share. You can tell what things you're attending. So then there are opportunities, somebody else might be attending it there, and you get to meet them for the first time. You can talk about maybe your takeaway from that paper, that particular talk, that particular conference, and put in sentence with some hashtags as well. That is another way for people. Sure, you're contributing and adding to the knowledge of somebody who might not have attended, or if they start looking into this part. You can ask questions. You can create polls saying, all right, those who are applying for USMLEs, how much sleep you are getting at less than 5 or 6 hours, whatever it is. You can create these fun comments in your personal life of taking some advice. Don't tag SCCM to that. That is nothing to do with SCCM pertinent in a sense, but you can do all those things for whatever skills you acquire, networking, you can do for your own personal things and the areas you are interested in that part. And then express, many of you are well versed in the areas and practice you do, and you can always express your opinions. One way is to look at the new literature. One way to look at the new articles coming out. Something came out in your part of the world. Something came out, you listened to a conference which was nothing to do with critical care, but you can take those giveaways from, let's say data analytics part, or it is AI meeting and things like that. So you can do a cross cover coverage, what you learn from a different conference and meeting, you can always engage your audience with critical care focus and so on and so forth. So goal is that through this opportunity, being a social media ambassador, you're contributing to that kind of literature, that kind of social media activities, but you're also developing your brand. So that is my what is in it for you message, that this activity, networking and learning can help you develop your brand as well. The last slide we have it, and we'll open up for questions, is there's a immediate opportunity coming in for any of you who are either in Washington, DC, Bethesda, and NIH area. There's an in-person meeting happening. There's no conference fee, anything else. This is an annual discovery and clinical investigator meeting. You can sign up. There's no registration as well. You can be there in person. If you're could not be there in person, you can attend the whole meeting virtually on Zoom. And as an ambassador, we will be looking for people who will be attending it on Zoom, and then we can make you in charge of certain sessions, or you can just do live tweeting based on what you are hearing there. You don't have to send 100 tweets. If each of you send 5 tweets during the whole day, we are talking about 50, 60, 80 tweets around that, and then retweeting part of it. So imagine if you are willing to put 5 tweets for 3 or 4 different sessions, that's it. That's a pretty good exposure for you guys, and that's a pretty good preparation for our main annual meeting, which is happening in January, which is a national conference at the time. Remember, for that meeting, October 21st is the timeline. If you don't have the form to RSVP, reach out to me. We will use hashtag. We'll use the handle SCCM and 2 hashtags, our SCCM social media hashtag and our SCCM discovery hashtag, which is specific to this particular conference. I think with that, we are almost at the end of the presentation. We are thankful to Holly and Melissa to put it together for you. And then we are very thankful for you to be here today as well. I think we can unshare it, stop the recording. Those who are watching it, reach out to us. We'll stop the recording and take the question and answer sessions.